The worst thing you can do when you're suffering from these addictions is, one, to try and fight it. Because that person who is actually, or that spirit that is causing you to fight it is actually the devil, is in your thoughts. And look at it this way. Imagine that all is well. Everything is always well. All is well, except your thoughts. Your thoughts are very evil, because imagine if nobody wants to get into these addictions, but somebody put you into these addictions. Somebody led you into these addictions. So you believed the thoughts. Anytime you start doubting your thoughts, that is you accepting the truth. I repeat that. Anytime you start doubting your thoughts, you're starting to believe the truth. You're actually starting to accept God, because thoughts are evil. If you had a chance to make your own thoughts, you will not be a drug addict. You will not be a drug addict. If you had a chance to make your own thoughts, you will have the best and the most positive thoughts about yourself, about other people. But you have negative thoughts about everything, is because somebody put the thoughts in you. Somebody told you you're better than your neighbor's daughter. And look at you guys when you go for those family gatherings or family meetings at home. Yeah, those you call it family what gatherings? Yeah, you are always trying to outshine each other. Your aunt stands up, introduces his sons. That is Dr. Lewis, that is Nas Flani, that is Mwalimu Flani. This other one stands up, and then the ego comes in. Oh, my son is a lawyer, he's studying law at the University of Nairobi. This is my daughter. She's married, she has 2 children. I'm so happy to have these grandchildren. Yes, they get together. Thank you for that. So in those get-togethers, it's all about pride and ego. Like, who is doing better? Look at those family WhatsApp groups. It's not about you having a bond that actually is beneficial for you. It's about somebody has died, we need to provide money. It's about school fees, we need to provide money. It's about whose daughter is where, whose son is where. That is all you do. And you're like, oh, we have this get-together every year, a family get-together. It's not a get-together. It's actually a group of evil people trying to exercise their evil nature on each other. Nobody's going to tell you the truth. You practice evil things on the and you tell us, oh, my, get together. Wait. Amazing, right? We are evil, but we cannot allow ourselves to accept that we are evil. Imagine that. So you're evil, you know it from within, because you know the truth, you know your truth. But the evil nature in you, because Satan tries to mock God through you, he cannot allow you to accept that, I'm doing the wrong things. Oh, I am this pastor who fornicates. Oh, I am this pastor who actually lays hands on people's heads to help them heal or get out of masturbation when I just masturbated yesterday night. Oh, I am this teacher who teaches people things that I don't even know. I am this mother who is the best mother, but I put all my identities in my children so that they can actually act as me. I tell them that when they grow up, they have to be independent. False and lie number 1, that you are independent. Lie number 1, that you are independent. Who told you must be independent? You need to depend on the father. You see, when you die and you arise, it's like a child. And a child knows that his father or her father is the best father and has everything. He got my back. That is how we are supposed to depend on the Father, who is actually God. And that means it's very difficult for you to just untie yourself or just disconnect yourself with the earthly representation, who is the Father, the biological father. It is difficult. Children who have disconnected from their biological fathers are the ones who are suffering the most in these addictions. Children who have weaker fathers, who have been dominated by women, who have been dominated by religion, who have been dominated by their cults, who have been dominated by the need to seek money, to find money. They are always trying to find money instead of seeking the truth, and the rest shall be added. So they are struggling to find money. They get the money, and then they realize again this money is not enough. They have to look for more. The greed now comes in. That is your politician. He wants to die in power. He's so greedy about power because he has the evil nature in him, and he's actually telling him, please seek more power. Seek more power. You see it, always you see it, but you cannot mention it because you think they will come after you. They will not. They are not even seeing you. They are seeing things in their own worlds, because for them, all is not well. But as you sit there with your own identity, what do you know? All is well. So when they tell you, how are you? Tell them all is well. Okay? Don't tell them I'm fine. Who told you you're fine? No, all is well. Because when you say I am fine, you already formed an opinion that there's fine and unfine. Okay, so you're thinking you're the better one. No, you're not. Just tell them all is well. Because that identity comes with the perfect peace. Yes, divine health. It comes with perfect peace. And when you have perfect peace, you're filled with love. You can now love people around you. Because love now flows from God to the Father, from the Father to the Mother, and Mother to the children. So it's that way. Now, men who are on this platform, I want you to imagine this. Anytime you're resenting your father, I want you to know this. Thank you, Dr. Jennifer. I want to ask you this question. Right now, you're resenting your father because you think your father is the most drunkard, he's an addict, he's the worst you ever had, right? The same thing is going to happen to you because whatever you run away from, you keep attracting it in life. These addictions will follow you. And I don't think there's any man who will like or love their children to hate them or to resent them. Right now, you're resenting your father because you have one side of the story. You've been told, and you are into your thoughts and your feelings. What you don't know is your identity has to come from that old man. Whether he is a drunkard, whether he's a thief, that is where you are going to get your identity from. As you struggle with that addiction, as you struggle with that pornography, as you struggle to get out of that LG whatever, the umbrella, hey, you're going to suffer. And I want you to see this. Look at our online celebrities who started off as the LG umbrella. Okay? Look at them. They started off at a younger age in high school as the LG umbrella. They got some funding here and there. They got excited because in them, they were not seeking the truth. They were seeking money. They were seeking attention. Because inside they had a void because they were running away from their fathers, from the Creator, from the earthly representation of God. They became so void and they thought they are doing everything for the sake of them. They had an aimless need to satisfy their ego inside them, the evil nature of them. Now, when it hits the wall, now nature starts to judge them. The woman in them starts to tell them, hey, children, children, children. They think of adopting children. It is not possible because now you see people are getting their identities. So who will give you his children? I can't give you my children to adopt when I know you don't have an identity. I'll be so hateful to my children. And most women hate their children. And most children hate their mothers and their fathers, but they don't know because they don't see the light. So you're there, you're nearing 35 and everything is not working for you. And now the woman nature in you is judging you. Now you want to come back and tell us, oh, now I've found God. Oh, I am so saved. Because you're hoping you can actually pounce on one guy in that church who is a keyboardist without an identity. You want to pounce on him and then get the pregnancy from him. And now you'll tell us, oh, I achieved my goals. Oh, I was that person and now I'm this person. You're telling us I was that bad person when you don't even know what is bad and what is good because you don't have an identity. So now as age is catching up and the womanhood is coming in, you're now telling us, oh, you know, guys, you need to accept me the way I am. I know I am getting older, but I know I've been doing all these things and I put it out there for you to see. Now, please forgive me. Oh, please give me hugs. And guess what? There is an umbrella for people like you being created by a certain celebrity who wants to rip from you because of his aimless greed. Oh, don't worry. We have you here. The pastor will put a hand on you, and that pastor is actually sodomizing children. Puts a hand on you and prays. Oh, at least one of the sheep, the lost sheep has come back. That sheep has not come back. He's actually getting more lost because no identity. Did the sheep forgive the mother? Did the sheep forgive and go back to the father? The answer is no. So where are you getting perfect peace from? Depression is coming. And there will be a company that will obviously open adult pampers, a branch for adult pampers in our country because of the men who are actually being sodomized. Listen, the truth is never soft. Never try to be nice with the truth. Never, ever, ever, ever try to be nice with the truth. Never comfort evil by trying to be nice with the truth. Put it out the way it is. Put it out the way it is. In anything you do, if you're of God, you are of the righteous, and you know the light. Never ever, because anytime you try to be nice with the truth, that is a weakness. That is you building a home for the devil, the evil spirit. Hello? Drug addiction, weed. Some of you spend a lot of money to just get sex. Oh, a gentleman, it is actually heading to the end of the month. I know people from the government have been paid. If not, they will be paid. So it's a weekend that is coming in at the end of the month. Government officials are everywhere, drinking alcohol, buying expensive liquor to please women so that they can earn them to bed. They will lie to have you in bed. Ladies, they will lie to have you in bed. And you see, ladies, some of you look very, very weird. When you walk into a nightclub and those lights are actually hitting you and you've worn a mini dress that is white or red and those lights are just flashing on you, you look like an angel with that makeup on you and that and those eyelids that are actually looking like so when that light just smashes on you and this guy has just had his 4 tuskers, he's standing tall. Now he's seeing the diplopia, double vision. He looks at you and he's like, this one. Ay, 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 ay. This one. Ay, ay, I have to. This one. I have to spend some money here. Now the gentleman has the pressure already because no identity. So he brings in a lot of expensive alcohol on this table so that you can actually know, that one there is the gentleman. Then he sends the waiter, pea ule msichana, unaona yule amevaa red, yule pale. That time that we are doing this, men know that. Men know that feeling. The moment you do that, the lights just and you're like, this one I'm not living in this club. No way I'm living this one. How? I mean, we will live once, right? We only live once. Now you send money there, the alcohol is there, she's drinking and she's like smiling a little bit and hey, by the time you get to your 12th beer, you fungad her home. Tomorrow you wake up, you look at this person because the makeup is not there, no lights anymore, and now you're sobering up. You come up with a headache. You're like, what's my... Hey, another headache is lying just beside you. And you're like, why are you here? Who are you? She's looking at you like, no, you know. Eh? So we end up making a lot of mistakes. Some of you even have sex with people you don't even know their names. Imagine. You don't know her name and you just had sex. Aimless need to ejaculate. That aimless need to ejaculate brought you problems. Now you're here, you have to suffer the consequences. You don't know if her status, and now you just want her to leave. You don't even care about anything. And you see, the stupid you, Satan will still come and tell you, don't worry. It was just the first time. You cannot contract HIV or an STI the first time. Don't worry. And then you look at her and you say, okay, maybe she doesn't have this thing. Maybe. I mean. And now the stupid you will walk into maybe a chemist or a hospital to go and take a HIV test. Today, she just left in the morning and you're into hospital taking a test. You're thinking if that test turns negative, you are safe. Marco. Ladies are running to the chemist to buy the P2s. They are so scared of a pregnancy than they are scared of HIV. Than they are scared of gonorrhea. And men die from these conditions when they had a condom below their pillows. They put that condom there below the pillow when they're expecting this girl to come in. When the girl walks in, this guy is like, there's no way I'm going to use this thing. There's no, this one. How? I mean, how? Now that's Satan telling you, look at her. She has no, what do we call them? The cellulites. She is so smooth. This one, how can she have this? She's actually from the coast. She has taken a bath in the ocean. How will this have these diseases? I mean, bro. So Satan is actually comforting you and making you feel good about it. And then you're like, And then after the sex, the guilt sinks in. Immediately you ejaculate. Satan is there telling you, why did you ejaculate? Imagine you're fornicating. Now you become so weak. You're like, yeah, okay, Allah. The only thing that you don't know is, once you did that, you got the dopamine hit, it got you addicted, and now you want the sex. You want even more. You will feel guilty for a bit some time, and then next time you're like, hey, Caro, where are you? That's another one. Caro says, I'm experiencing the moon. You're like, Caro is experiencing the moon. Next. Hey, Joan, how are you? I was thinking, Joan is like, I left for home. I'm not around. You're like, la, 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 la. Now the next thing is that body lotion near you. And you wank yourself. And then you finish that, you're like, After feeling good, now starts to sink into you. The devil comes in and tells you, look at you, bro. How can you even pour the seed on the wall? How can you ejaculate on yourself? And the guilt comes in. And when you feel the guilt, you start judging yourself. When you judge yourself, That is sin. You've fallen away from the grace of God. You become so addicted, and the more you fight it, the more you go deeper, the more you dig deeper. So you're wondering, a guy is always saying, I don't want to quit alcohol. I want to quit masturbation. They quit masturbation for about 4 days. The 5th day, he masturbates 6 times in a day. Why? He's actually compensating for the missed masturbation sessions the last 5 days. And he's thinking this is superficial because Dr. Lewis is here preaching, oh, avoid masturbation. He's like, what are you saying? Avoid what? Masturbation. That is Satan talking in him. His thoughts. He's into his thoughts and feelings. How can I avoid masturbation? I mean, it is safe sex. Yeah, it's just on my hand. I don't need too much confidence to find it. It's here. Now you've lost touch with women. You don't even have the confidence anymore. Now you have low self-esteem because of that. Now you've actually weakened yourself. Then, of course, as you're scrolling, I'm talking about semen retention. You're like, what is wrong with this doctor? I mean, and now that emotion overtakes you and overwhelms you because you've not overcome it. You're there with a comment. Oh, no way. Masturbation, you need to actually, masturbation is good for the mind. As long as you don't overdo it. You know, how will you know you're overdoing it when you don't have an identity? How? So don't build homes for Satan inside you. Don't build the homes for the devil. You are better off without the devil. Okay, so the worst thing you can do when you're experiencing these problems, what you need to do not fight it, do not resist it, do not have an opinion of it. Simply be aware. It is that simple. Just be aware. Let it happen, let it flow. And as it's happening, once you become aware, that is you accepting the truth. Now God will take it off you. God will take it away from you. It is easy. Those addictions will just slide away. But as you fight them, they will actually prolong themselves. You will smoke a blunt now. You feel high because your happiness is in material things. You don't know the truth. And then you get that highness. The next minute is down because it has been metabolized and it's out of the system. The guilt comes in. When the guilt comes in, you keep on fighting it. Now is the need to have another blunt comes in. Some of you are even budgeting for weed, budgeting for alcohol. And the mistake that most of us do, and I hope good Joseph can actually tell us something about this because I've seen him here. Most of us budget our salaries. You have a salary and then you say, this one is for rent, this one is for food, this one is for me buying some new clothes here and there, this one is for me saving, and then the rest, sherehe. So you're actually budgeting a salary. That's why you're a slave. You get a salary now, in the next 5 days or 2, you don't have anything because you already budgeted it. And now it's time for you to wait for the next 28 days for another salary. So therefore you have 28 days to impress somebody to give you or to make sure that you earn a living. Imagine that. You wait for 30 days and within 2 days you have nothing because you budgeted the salary. How about you start writing a budget and use the salary to fund the budget? How about that? Just write a budget and then use your salary to be part of what funds that budget. Let's see if you can actually budget for alcohol. Simply write a budget. If it exceeds your salary, no problem. It will mean you will have to hustle even more. You will have to go into debt. So write a budget and then use your salary as part of funding that budget. Then tell me if you will still have the nonsense of saying, you know, I'm saving 500 every month. And then there is this ego that comes with people who are saving money. My savings. Wait until you get one disease. Now you've seen there's a trending viral condition that is that organization thinks people are still stupid. It thinks people have forgotten what COVID did, right? So there's now a trending, I don't want to mention it because, you know, that one, it comes in and it sweeps off your savings instantly. As you're saving that 5K every month, what happens is the next time you will just receive a call that your mother in the village is having a kidney problem and she needs about $1 million. And how much have you saved again? How much are you bragging on this road? So you know, I've saved from my salary. I managed to save. How much have you saved again? Are you able to? Some of you, if I ask you, if you lose your job right now, how long are you going to survive on your savings, living the same life, the same lifestyle, maintaining the same lifestyle? How long are you going to live on that saving account? Tell me if you go beyond 2 months. Some of you will not even go beyond a day because you budget your salary. Well. Anyway, don't fight it. Don't identify with it, because when you identify with something, it means you don't have an identity. So everything sweeps you off. And you see, when you identify with alcoholism, you say, I'm an alcoholic. When you say I'm a sex addict, and ladies are so open nowadays with this, I'm a sex addict, I'm a lesbian, you have taken that fake identity. You're actually identifying with that with evil. So how do you expect to get out of the evil? How will you even know you're in evil when you don't have an identity? So you identify with these things, and then you become. And then now you have to endure the suffering so that you can die of this and come back to live a new life, which will be dependent of the Creator, who is the Father. And that is perfect peace.